So right now you might be going through a lonely phase in your life in which a lot of people you once spoke to at one certain point in time, you might not speak to them anymore. The same exact people who you feel like looked out for you and had your back at one point, or you maybe thought that they were never gonna leave. Maybe now they're not in your life no more. And me, the reason I want to speak through this video is because me personally, I'm going through a certain stage in my life right now, which they call it the lonely phase, or like a season in your life where you're going through a period of loneliness. And like when I mean loneliness, it's not necessarily me talking about like not having anyone in your life. More so, a lot of people who were once a part of my life aren't in my life anymore. And I just want to talk about like why this is a good thing and how obviously it sucks and stuff like that. But it is a good thing if you break it down. Let me explain. Alright, so look, one thing for certain I want to say is that once you start letting go of a lot of people in your life, you start to realize more and more about yourself. Like me, for example, there was a lot of things about myself that I wasn't really aware of until I started letting go of certain people. Like how you said, for example, sometimes we keep people around that even if they're not really necessarily good for us, we keep them around because we don't like to think of the idea of them not being a part of our journey anymore or thinking about living life without them anymore. For example, when people go through like a toxic relationship or something, the first thing that they think about is that they can't live without them, they can't think of a future without them because that's what the abuser makes them think that you can't live without them, you know what I mean? So when you're going through that, you obviously can't see a future without them. But like I said, people come and go, and one thing for certain that there's always gonna be one person that's gonna stand by your side despite anything that ever happens, and that's always gonna be you. When it comes down to it and you see it, you're always gonna have yourself. Like people, friends, relationships, all that type of stuff, all that stuff comes and goes. Like obviously there's some relationships that are meant to stay in the long run, or there's some relationships that are supposed to just be for a part of your, like a season in your life, like a chapter, you know? But one thing for certain, you're always gonna have yourself. And so look, another thing is like when you're going through this lonely phase and stuff like that, you have to embrace it, and this is when you have to start working in yourself and finding things out about yourself. Like me, I found out I didn't have like a certain amount of respect for myself. I didn't have like I thought I loved myself, you know. But then once everyone around me left, I started to see myself for who I truly was, and I seen that, and I started doing better, you know. So that's what I personally would recommend. And like when I mean self love, I'm not talking about like going out clubbing, living your best life, whatever. Like listen, bro, if that's what you want to do, you do it. But me personally, that's against my character, and I don't do that type of stuff. So what I did is like I started taking care of myself. Like I started eating healthy. I started going to the gym, trying to get myself into shape. Because there's certain things about me that I didn't like, but those things that I didn't like about myself, I can change that. Like obviously, there's other things about me I can't change, but that's where I accept them for what they are, and I don't. And I start. I just. I'm okay with it, you know. So, look, another thing is embracing the loneliness. So, yes, it sucks. Obviously, it sucks, but this is like something that you gotta embrace and be okay with because, though, for one, you're gonna go through periods of time where you're not gonna have people around you. Not everyone around you is meant to stay in the long run. Some people who leave your life, they're just not meant to be a part of the next journey, the next chapter in your life. So, let them go. Like yes, you might love and care for them, and you really wish they could have been a part of your journey. But one thing I've learned, bro, is that if God takes someone out your life, or God takes a group of people out your life, a friend, even a family member, a cousin, or something like that, if God takes them apart, like away from you, like then that was for a reason, bro. Like one quote that I read this summer that resonated with me a lot is that is if God could take something away from you that you never imagined losing, then He can replace it with something you never imagined having. So when I heard that, that kind of changed the whole way I looked at things, and I'm like, okay, yes, maybe I lost this at this certain period in time, and I thought maybe I was never gonna be able to replace it. But you're never gonna find something that's the exact same, but you're gonna find something that's better suited for you. So you might lose lose these people that don't suit you no more, and you might think that, oh, I'm never gonna find a better group of friends. Like that was like the only people I was ever gonna hang out with. Like I don't know how I'm gonna get over this, but it's like the thing a lot of people like a lot of times when people go through like breakups and stuff, they'll think to themselves like, damn, I'm never gonna find better. Damn, this is the best I was ever gonna have. But this is literally everyone. But as time goes on and things start to slowly settle in and you start getting adjusted to this new reality, you start to realize after a while, like, okay, I'm good, you know? And that's the thing, a lot of us are not like, how I say it, when we go through this phase, like this stage right here that you're going through, a lot of people just don't like to face the pain right then and there. So you're never gonna be able to heal from something you're not willing to feel. If you're not willing to feel the pain right then and there, then you're never going to heal from it. And that's one thing I was avoiding for a long time. Like there was a lot of trauma, a lot of built-in like anxiety, a lot of built-in emotions that I was putting away, and I was like putting it to the side for I could deal with it at a future time. And in the moment in time, I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like, but I was convincing myself I wasn't really good. I was lying to myself. So when everything around me started leaving, like all the friends, all the family, all the people who I was once cool with and I associated myself with started leaving my circle, and I was left to myself, the only thing I was left with was my thoughts. So what did I did? I had to face the thing right then and there. It's like the way I see it is like it's like God putting you in a situation for you to come out stronger and for you to come out better. Because look, one thing I've learned over time is that if you're a damaged person, you're gonna attract that type of person around you, or those kind of people around you. So in order for you to have those better people come around you and be in your circle and stuff like that, you have to heal. Because damage doesn't attract something that's good. You can't be damaged and expect someone that's healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally to come into your life and fix you. No, bro. No one's coming to save you. And that's another thing a lot of people got to think about too. When you're going through this phase, you might think that, oh, damn, a girl could come in my life or a dude could come in my life. I don't know, whatever. Something or someone could come into my life and be able to make me happy. But like I said once again, when you're going through this stage, you got to realize the only person that you're always going to have by your side is yourself. So what do? When you only have yourself, what are you supposed to do? And if you don't, you know what I mean? And like what I feel like everyone should do is love themselves, because you can't pour into someone else's cup if you don't have water in your own. So you can't pour love into other people if you don't have love within yourself. So when you're going through the stage, that's where self-care and self-love, and that's when you start to build self-respect, self-discipline, and build these good habits and start to build yourself up to be a better person. So then down the road, you can open those doors for better people to come in. Because obviously when people leave your room and people leave your circle, that's leaving room for new people to come in, and those new people make it will be so much better. Right now you might not see it that way. You might think like, damn, I'm never gonna do better. That was the best I was ever gonna do. Listen, bro, trust me, bro. Something better is gonna come along the way, and you will see that after a while, and you'll be glad you went through the stage. That's like a couple videos before that I posted. I was talking about that. You gotta make sense of bad things down the road. This right here is an example of one of them, because yes, it might seem bad up front, but that's where the saying a blessing in disguise comes in from. And the reason this phase is so important for you to go through is because this is where you start to build that self-love. And building self-love is not something that you build overnight. It's something that you build within time. So in order to build that self-love, you have to make it a routine in your every single day life to continue to improve. So how do you do this? You find a hobby or something. Find something that you're passionate about and makes you happy. Like me, for example, one thing that I figured out over time that I like to do is I like to go hiking. So when I feel down or something like that, obviously I go outside, I go hiking, I go into nature, and I do this. And the reason I do this is because it's like a form of meditation for me. So when I'm outside in nature and stuff like that, I don't think about nothing but being within the present moment. So when I'm within the present moment, I'm not thinking about the past and I'm not worried about the future. The only thing I'm worried about is the now. And the reason I did that is because Well, one thing I used to have a problem with is that I would be an overthinker. I'll overthink about my past, or I'll get in these negative head cycles. I'll think about negativity, negativity, negativity. So when I was in the present moment, all those stuff disappeared. So that's something that you got to figure out within yourself. What is a way you could do that? What is a way that you could do something that puts you in the present moment and you could start living in the now? Because one thing is, you can't change the past in the future. You can't control what's going to happen 20 years down the line. You know what I mean? The only thing you can control is the now. So focus on that and master that. So another thing is, like, when you're going through this phase, you're gonna start growing in ways you never imagined. You're gonna start getting better and better and better. And as time goes on, you're gonna see that, damn, I came a long damn way. And by the time you're there, those old people that were once in your life, they're gonna try to come back in. But you're gonna have grown so far past them. And that's okay. It's okay to outgrow people. There's nothing wrong with outgrowing people. It's not like I say, it's not okay to keep people around who aren't for you because you feel bad for them, or you don't want to let them go. Listen, it's okay to outgrow people. It's not a crime, or you're not a bad person when you outgrow someone. If there's a friend or somebody that's in your life that's not necessarily benefiting you, because you shouldn't be friends with people because it benefits you, but if they're doing the opposite of benefiting you and they're actually dragging you down, why would you keep that around? There's no point. Like, yes, you might stay around because of the history you guys two have together, but if that's the only reason you're staying around someone, then why? Why? You're just hurting yourself. There's literally no point in doing that. So look, before I end that video, I want to remind you that you're not broken, you're evolving. And in order for, like I said, there's like this one saying I heard, and it's like, in order for a glow stick to glow, it has to be broken. So think about it like this. Your old self is dying right now, and you're rebuilding yourself as a new and improved, way better version of you. So yes, you're going through growing pains right now, and that's what it's gonna feel like, but trust me, bro, you're gonna be good, yo. Another thing is, you're gonna be ready once you get better and you start to grow more and more. That's when you are gonna be ready for new and better connections. And that's pretty much it, yo. You just gotta go through this phase. Like, think about it like just sailing the boat through through a storm. If you could pass this storm, bro, you're gonna be able to do anything, yo. You'll be able to freaking deal with anything, yo. You will be a beast. So when you love yourself, you attract what's meant for you. So what I mean is that in order for something to be like I said earlier, in order for something good to come into your life, you have to be good within yourself. So if you love yourself, you're gonna attract someone who's gonna love you for everything about you, not just something about you like your money or nothing. No, they're gonna love every single piece of you, and they'll be for you. And these are the people who you want in your circle, who you want in your tribe and stuff. These are the type of people that you want to keep around in the long run. So love yourself, take care of yourself, man. So one last thing I want to let you know is that right now, when you're going through this phase, you're becoming the best possible version of yourself. And like in the long run, you'll be glad you went through this. But bro, you're evolving, and yes, it might seem quiet right now, and it might suck, and it might feel lonely, and you might feel like no one hears you, or no one understands you and stuff. But this is an important stage that you have to go through in order for you to grow. So just keep going, don't fall back, and just continue to look forward and think about it like this. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. So don't look back into the past and keep thinking like, damn, I'm never gonna find better, I'm never gonna do better. That's where I tell you, you have to find something that you could do that keeps you in the present moment, and just keep striving forward, yo. Anyways, that's pretty much the topic I wanted to talk about. And if you want something else for me to talk about, comment down below. Or if you want to tell your story on how you feel about going through this, you could DM me on my Instagram, g.iovany. But anyways, I appreciate y'all if you watched this video to the end, and check you guys out, man.